Hello everybody and welcome back to Alea Jacta Est. It's 11 p.m. when I am recording this, so I'm quite tired right now, but anyways, let's get back to the show. So, now that we have semi-defeated the Pontic army, or the Mithridate army, we have quite a few options. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to finish their forces off, but secondly, we have all of this land that we had to take care of. So with that being said, the map is actually quite big. It goes all the way to the edge of pretty much the Persian lands, but for some reason we never actually go there. We can't also go up here either, even though it is available. So just for the sake of your guys' curiosity, we don't have to do that. But we do have to crush this opponent right here, so I'm actually going to put Sulla to march against his enemy right there, right now. Buy some more legionary cohorts, buy some more cavalry, because yeah, you might have noticed that these legions, for some reason they have like one Roman cavalry squadron. I'm not really sure if they're like all that good, considering their fire and defensive fire is 0. Assault damage is actually quite high, so I guess that makes sense. They don't have any ranged weapons. Inside central Italy, the revolution wasn't really much of a revolution, I guess. So. It looks like everything is actually perfectly fine on this front. We've defeated the populares pretty thoroughly, I would say. In theory, there's still Sicily that we can take over, but if you've noticed, it actually isn't worth anything considering all the villages. The only ones that are worth something are like this is actually a pretty good example right here: the silver starred and the gold starred, and of course Rome with the little special icons. Those are the only cities that are worth anything. So down here we can. Oh, never mind, I stand corrected. There is one city here that is worth something. So I guess we'll take a look at that. That's actually rather strange. Let's see if we can find this place on our objectives list. So this is the amount of places that we have to conquer. The only one that we absolutely have to nab is this little province right here on the coast of Africa. So I presume these provinces are actually ones that the populares have to retain control of. I did a playthrough as the populares on my own time, and yes, I remember this one being one tile that the popular front did have to control, and of course I don't think anybody needs to control Crete, seeing as that's a neutral country in this scenario. Alright, well, as you saw there inside the objectives list, we have our work cut out for us. We've already finished off most of the objectives, so now we're kind of in a phase where we're just going to pretty much finish the job, conquer Asia Minor, and put these guys down. Now, if I remember correctly, there are a few other events that should fire off. Once again, I'm not particularly familiar with the time period, so I don't know the exact history behind all of these battles. And come to think of it, any game with the PON, the adaptive game engine, is really, they're all really similar. You don't necessarily have to know the time period, although it does help. Okay, so it looks like what has happened is that the Pontics are retreating, so they retreated back into the settlement. And what happened was that since they retreated into the settlement, we pretty much surrounded them. They can't leave, and we destroyed a nice 20,000 men, 24,000 men to 4,000 men, roughly 4,000 men, barely anything. Right, so I can open up that damage, that detailed screen. You can see that this time we fought 3 rounds. The first round we had less troops than them, and actually won. So this is either this is all the troops that they can field on, they can put on the field, and this is all the troops that we can put on the field. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legions. That sounds pretty correct. So I want to see how many legions we have inside our unit. I'm pretty sure we have more than 6. Let's see, 1, 2, no, we actually have roughly 6. Okay, so we were able to commit all of our troops onto the field there. In certain places you can't, because like I said, there's that idea of frontage that is being considered inside the game. It does it really oddly because it never actually mentions the idea of frontage inside the tutorials or anything. It's just one of those things that I think you're just supposed to know magically or something like that, which is rather odd. What else? We need some transport ships. Okay, now we don't have any money to buy those transport ships. Okay, so what should I do? What should I do? Well, I can play down some more of these decision cards, which I do want to show you guys how the system works. It's just that all of these are mainly situational. Like for example, I can develop provinces for engagement points, but in reality, we're playing with a very small portion of the Roman Empire, where developing the empire won't really do much good because it's mainly developed, right? Now, if we were in, like, say, oh, I don't know, Germany, up here, that might be very, very different. Or maybe if we were up here inside the northern parts. But down here, everything is fine. I mean, the highways have already been constructed. The main use of those functions right here are simply just to facilitate the building of the Roman Empire, so that while you might not fight your enemy right, we actually don't even need these siege engines. So it's just to facilitate the advancement of your army, seeing as the turns are 30 days, and obviously the time period kind of limits the speed of transportation. So you know your troops aren't going to get halfway around the world in like 30 days, which I think is something that's very possible nowadays with a battalion level unit. So everything was a lot slower, definitely. And if you were constantly patrolling one region, right? Say northern England, the border next to Scotland, which I watched a movie about it in regards to the Roman legions and how the Scottish people were like barbarians in their minds. So it was rather odd. Well, let's see. Here we're constructing. We have a siege here on this province right here. It looks like the army, the Pontic army, is still alive. So I would normally go forward with the siege, but I think what I'll do is, well, no, actually, I think I'll just split my troops up into 2 groups, 1 siege force, which I'm definitely actually. Okay, well, I need the commander here, but I don't need these troops here. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So now we're under the command limit, and we'll definitely be able to win a battle here. So he'll go on sieging. I want Sulla to continue his military campaign. So no, that's not what I want. I want him to bounce up here. I want him to enter the... okay, fair enough. We'll just go down here. And Sulla's force will press into the capital and pretty much invade this region's capital. And let's go like that. As I was saying, going back to the road things, it's really if you want to construct one of these highways on the maps for areas of dire need for transportation, and we don't really have many of those areas, so we should be fine. From the looks of it, we've completely decimated this scenario. We have 2,000 victory points right now. That is an absolutely huge number of victory points. Sulla defeats 3 armies of the Pontics. 3 armies. I think we've like killed 3 of their commanders as well. That's quite an impressive achievement right there. We've absolutely destroyed the enemy. Let's actually open up that little calendar thing. So, okay, so we still need to grab this city right here, Ephesus, I believe. We need to take that one Pontic city. That's the only, popular front city that we need to take from them. We need to take this one, Sinope, which is I believe this is the capital of the Pontics. Maybe it has that little golden icon, so I don't really know. We need to take this city right here. And that's actually all we need to do. So we have a fairly short workload. So what will you do? What will you do? Sulla. Alright, well Sulla has another secondary level commander, so I think I'll get him, 2 auxiliaries, and the Ballistae. I'll give him... Oh, we're actually very short on supplies. Like, notice how this supply wagon is green and the rest are red, so what I think I'll do is I'll deploy the little legion right here, with the catapults, of course, that we've captured from the enemy. And I think I'll get Sulla to actually march back into this tile and garrison it up. You can see our supply counts over here, by the way. So we're at 37% of our maximum level, and we have 63% ammunition capacity. You use ammunition for battles, and you use supply for pretty much just all the time, really. I believe there's supposed to be an African uprising, and then you get to play with some units on the North African coast. But I think the populars have to enact the event, so it's like a little script that the game runs, and then you kind of run into that trouble where it's like, so we've already defeated them. I'm not really sure if they can meet the requirements of whatever is needed to start that event, right? Oh, and it's actually the first of the month, so we should be getting a little bit of money. Or maybe not. But we have gotten a new commander over here, so that is actually very good. Ooh, this is good. We get control of the whole entire garrison right here. That is perfect. Do we get control of the units inside Alexandria? For some reason, these are still all locked. Oh yes, this might be because of that Alexandria event inside the Odyssey. This is the army that I was talking about. There will be an army here, and there will be an army randomly generated nearby, which are manned by the populars, and you get all of this African heavy infantry and stuff to play with, right? And that is actually what I think is the fastest way to take this objective right here. But I don't know how to enact it. There's no direct option inside the 3 panels right here, so that is the tricky part. But let's focus back here. So Maris's forces are back inside the capital of this region, and they are garrisoned up inside the buildings right here. So it doesn't look like since they got here and at the halfway mark inside the turn, we're a little bit less of it. We have we only gained like a little bit of supply, so you recall that being at 34%, now it's 32, so they gained a little while they were there, but not enough to make like a huge difference. How are our siege parties doing? So we're running out of supplies during at our sieges too. That's not that big of a problem though. And they are ports, so they'll last considerably longer. That one might be a problem. The one in the south will definitely crumble soon. Do 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 do. I don't know about you, but the turn length on my end, it just blacks out my screen because I play this in a window instead of full screen. So I had to wait until the game completely and finishes the turn before I know what's going on. Well, let's see. Popular surrendered to us here. That is very good. We still have a force here. So I think we'll move down into Sicily. The only thing you gain from invading these lands is that, oh, did we finally get those taxes? Roman civilization progresses in North Africa, so we get some points here. Now, does that mean we can fire off that event? No, it does not. However, we did collect the taxes, so we have a ton of money right now. A ton of money that I will be putting towards building some ships. So I'm going to build some combat ships and some transport ships. How do I know which one is which? Well, to be entirely honest, I don't. I'm just simply reading the things on the side of the menu to get my information. Now that we have that part done, those ships will be constructed in about like half a year, so it isn't like too long, but it's still enough to kind of irritate me. What about our main army? Okay, so some of our supply wagons are being resupplied. We still don't have all the supply we could uh, use. So Sulla is going to have to sit tight once again. This is a major problem with ancient era logistics, was that getting supply to everybody was just so difficult. Um, I remember the movie like 300, which was based on the Battle of Thermopylae, where it was 300 Spartans versus the whole Persian army, which actually came around the coast of Asia Minor, down into Greece, and pretty much they stayed on the coastline. There was this canyon. I'll actually show the place on the map later on, but as soon as the turn is finished. But they made a stand there, right? So any real logical person could say, so why exactly did the Persians have to follow the coast, and how do they plan to transport 1,000,000 men through a tiny canyon about, oh, I don't know, 50 meters wide, more than that perhaps? Well, the question is that it was a supply issue. So what happened was that Xerxes, the leader of the Persians, decided to march his grand army all the way down the coast here, and they reached some place on the shores about right here somewhere, um, just over here. And well, obviously you can kind of go around like that, right? Like you can curve all around. There's all this it's pretty much free space that you can go through. The only problem was that Xerxes' army was too big. He literally could not feed the men that was with him unless he brought the whole entire force around like that. So it made it quite challenging for him to really do anything. I'm not really sure what happened here. Oh, that's right. I didn't put any extra units with this guy, so he's commanding a lone legion. Well, that's fine too. What about you? What about you, Sulla? Sulla has regained most of his supplies. His supply trains are relatively well done. There's quite a lot of units here. It looks like the remaining units of the Pontic force actually gathered inside this city. So I'm going to have Sulla march into that place and pretty much take it over. So let's get on started with doing that. And after that battle, I think I'll just end this part for now. And I'll do some cleaning up. I'll just essentially wipe out most of the Pontic settlements. Okay, there we go, some action. Oh wow, they have a lot of troops there. 30k troops inside the city. Um, for some reason it told me that it was like a force of like 5 units, which was rather strange. I'm not really sure if you noticed, but the unit who fled out of the Byzantium was also one that was originally inside the Pontic force, the Pontic army that was fighting Sulla over here. So, what that means is that the Pontic army has broken up into multiple pieces. For some reason, this number used to be 8 and now it's 10, so somehow more troops actually joined up here, which may be a little bit of a problem. I'm going to get Sulla to actually assault the place. The Pontics are trying to reform their forces from the looks of it. Octavius's corpse. Octavius has been stuck inside that city for months now. He has no idea what's going on because apparently somebody just never told him to go forward. I was wondering when those reinforcements were arrived too. It just seems like I just kept them there for quite a bit of time. So considering that we didn't really need them, but now that we have like 6 more legions, that's a plus. And those troops will probably be deployed inside the southern places near Sulla's main force. Okay, good. This battle right here should crush the remainants of the Pontic army. This is very good. I think what's happening right now is that they're retreating into different sections of the city depending on how big it is. So that's kind of why the number is like jumping up, and then when it goes down really far, it jumps back up again. That is a complete defeat for them. And it looks like another round of combat is going forward. The AI will kind of decide how this will kind of work depending on the leader's characteristics. There we go, one more. So that decimated everybody inside that particular city. That's very good. And here, the other remnant of the Pontic army will soon be destroyed. Octavius comes in from the left, while the enemy retreats from the right, and he has killed most of the enemy. Not all of them. So another Pontic army has been raised, and this one is actually made up of quite a lot of different types of units. So they have Pontic heavy infantry. Pontic men are represented with the purple border. Hellenistic infantry. I won't get into the details of it, but I think mostly because I don't really know. But Hellenistic and Cappadocian regions are over here. I actually don't know if you can see the mouse right now, so I'll hold up on telling you where that is. I believe Hellenistic is this little corner of the Mediterranean right here. So anything pretty much just a little east of Greece. I always think of Troy when I think of Hellenistic, and over here is the other kind. So yeah, and there's a penalty for controlling units of different groups. So it looks like the Pontics still have quite a few more men. Notably here we have, oh, that actually drained our legions dry, so I'm actually going to pull this guy back. He's going to be retreating. He did a great job at defeating this second Pontic army. He did an absolutely fantastic job with that, but he he isn't going to last very long, so we'll bring Octavius forward. Now I remember getting a few more leaders, a few more army leaders, and those will be very helpful. So these two people. Can this thing transport anybody? Yes, that one can. So we're going to load up the two leaders. Actually, is any of this force worth anything? Yeah, no, that force isn't going to be worth very much. So we're actually going to, whoops, we're actually going to take a look at the leaders, see how good they are. So this one's just a generic Roman leader with a few stats. So we're going to actually assign them to the fleet. And we're going to take a look at him. Oh, he has actually a few abilities. Hard to catch, pillager, diplomatic, and poor spy network. So we're going to get those two leaders. Actually, we can fit a few more troops. I'll try to fit that force in there. Okay, there we go. So now we have a few people to support him. So this is an admiral, by the way. This guy right here. I think what I can do is kind of merge him and the navy together. Let's merge those troops together. So now we have a little force that we can move. Now I'm pretty sure the Pontic fleet has a way, so I think I'll be able to safely do that. Just in case, I'll put the stance to passive, and I'll move Sulla's force forward. Over here, same stuff. And this will be the last turn for this episode, I guess. I might do a playthrough of Pride of Nations or Vainglory of the Nations, the game that I've been referencing to quite a bit inside this playthrough. The only problem is that the turn length is horrendous compared to this. I would believe that it is like 2 to 3 times slower. So actually, if you'd like to, oh, we killed 2 leaders there, that's pretty good. If you'd like to see that, we killed all their forces there, so that's even better. If you'd like to see that playthrough, feel free to leave a comment inside the comment section, or actually send me a PM. Yeah. But I probably won't do a full let's play of that game. The Numidian army still hasn't joined us, so if you notice that the leader has changed from somebody to Juba, which is this guy. Uh-oh. Well, I'll be back.